Namah Shivaya. Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyama devaah. Bhadram pashyemakshabhiryajatraah. Sthirairangaistushtuvaagumshastanubih. Vyashema devahitam yadayuh. Swasti na indro vriddhashravah. Swasti na pusha vishvavedah. Swasti nastarksho arishtanemih. Swasti no brihaspati dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Greetings everyone, this is Arsonist Fire here on the Way of Dharma 108. Now I've promised you that I will come back with a video talking more in depth about wands and about the Athame. So it's going to be a short video because I'm going to be brief and as eloquent as I can be. The Way of Dharma 108 is a channel where we discuss spiritual topics, especially those of an occult or hidden nature, those of an esoteric nature. So these truths come from various systems of spirituality, starting from the East, including practices and secrets of the Western Hemisphere and the African traditions of spirituality. Now for our topic today, we are going to discuss the power of wands, athames, and many other tools of directing energy. With that being said, I'm going to show you some of these tools and I will explain how to use these tools, emphasizing the fact that these tools are just tools without the magician's will or without the magician's application. I've received an email from some of you. Thank you for tuning in and watching the Way of Dharma 108. This email, this person was inquiring about the use of mantras. Do they work? Is there any mantra that they can chant to help them through that situation in which they are in? So let me address that fact, and this will apply to all practices of spirituality. Spirituality or any magical practice is not a pill that you can take that can suddenly solve the problem that you have. Spirituality is teaching you the nature of how the mind works and how you can use the mind to live a positive life, how you can use the mind to uncover the latent abilities that are in men, to also achieve liberation. So the common denominator here is you doing the spiritual works. You need to take the initiative to do the spiritual works. It's not something that you can take today and it will act as a pill. Those of you who started with me here on the Way of Dharma, you know me from way back when it was still atmosphere spirituality. You've seen the changes that I had to go through, the knowledge that I've acquired and I've attained throughout the past years. This was not a pill. I had to do sadhana, I had to go through difficult times, and I had to do some of the practices that were not the normal thing to do at the time. There were times where I was called crazy. That happens in the spiritual path. So, but this is not a pill that you can take today and then suddenly your life is better tomorrow, and then suddenly you are at a level at which I'm speaking from. Because if you are a beginner, most of these things you won't even understand. So I'm speaking to those who understand. Anyway, with that being said, keep on with your spiritual practice, keep on the spiritual journey. If you gravitate towards something, do it. In terms of mantras, do tread with caution, not because they are dangerous things to do, but because these things, they cleanse your karma. These things, they cleanse your mind. So certain tendencies that arise from the past lives, that arise from the instinctive mind, will come to try and survive, basically, because mantras are essentially burning away these karmas and sanskaras. So they will come out violently if you do your practice vigorously and violently, as opposed to doing it gradually and slowly. So these things, they will come out and they will cause a panic, a sudden panic or a sudden fear. But fear not. Don't focus on those things when you reach that stage. Just pursue on, and check your mental sanity. Keep balance at all times. Do not panic. Thank you. So let me show you the ones that I'm talking about. So this is a wand that I've recently created. It consists of a rose quartz stone. This is wand one, a rose quartz wand. Now this is plastic, molten plastic, that I used to bind the wand to the rod. And this is another one which has a tiger's eye on its tip and has runic symbols. There's another one, an amethyst one, which was actually the first one that I created. This has no runic symbols. I might add them, but yes, notice these are terminated on the handle, as well as this one. And then we have the Athame. Now, let me steer you further away from this subject, and then we can come back to it later. So there's what we call prana, vibration, in other words. In some systems of Chinese Taoism, it's called qi. And then in the Western hemisphere and hermetic practices, this is called the vital life force. Basically, this is what we're seeking to assimilate when we breathe in. This is the ether, the akasha element, the creator of all. This is a subtle energy which is around us, within us, and everywhere comprehensible to us. Basically, whatever movement, whatever thing that you see vibrating, because all these things that you see behind me, they are inanimate, but they are constantly vibrating to retain their current state of being, because otherwise they would be degraded into the soil, but instead they are retaining that vibration. This is all due to what? To prana. It's vibrating. This vital life force vibrating in it. So this is also the ancient form of electricity that our ancients used. In Egypt, they used this form of electricity to levitate and put the tons of bricks to create what we call pyramids. This energy, it's a potential of everything, basically. This energy can be used to cut. This energy can be used to levitate. This energy can be used to do what else? To electrocute, to carry forth energy from one point to another point for traveling purposes, basically. It's everywhere around us, and it's wireless. It's a certain form of advanced, ancient advanced, and modern advanced quantum technology. So when Nikola Tesla discovered this form of energy, he wanted to use it to create free energy for all, because I don't need this energy. I don't need the government to buy this energy. I don't need to buy it from my neighbors. It's already there. This same energy is the reason why you are able to hear me when I'm speaking to you right now. I'm speaking into this energy. This carries sound waves to your ears from my mouth, basically. So you get to understand what I'm talking about. It's an advanced form of technology. I can send you thought forms or thought vibrations that will travel through this energetic field that will go into your mind for comprehension. And this I couldn't fathom for the longest of time, but now I understand. It permeates us. It's everywhere around us. So now, the second question we want to ask is, how do we tap into this energy? Nikola Tesla created what we call a Tesla coil to utilize this energy. Now this energy, through a Tesla coil, it cannot electrocute you because it's bioenergy. It has a nature of giving life. It's life-giving, so it doesn't shock you. It's much more subtle than what we call electricity now. It doesn't require cables because of it's everywhere around us. When we breathe in, we absorb it. It is said that a cup size of this energy is enough to give power to a whole city. So now the question arises, since Tesla was able to create a Tesla coil to tap into this energy source, how would we tap into this energy source as magicians, as tantrics, as yogis, as Wiccans? Simple. We create such tools. Now this is called a wand. For those of you who've watched Harry Potter, know that Harry Potter uses wands almost all the time, except in front of muggles. So wands are actually tools of directing and manipulating this energy that I'm talking about. Because for the normal person coming into magic, you haven't developed to a point whereby you can do it willingly. It needs a certain level of practice of pranayama, this control of this vital force. And also these having characteristics of their own, they have different vibrations to them. So when you use these tools together, this energy that's all permeating, that is all around us, and then to direct it to empower your spells and your rituals, you are able to do what? You are able to direct and amplify energy effectively. So this is what these tools are in actuality. Tools of directing and manipulating energy. These are very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. This one is an athame, which to me represents the element of air. In some traditions, it is said that this represents the element of fire. So I've said in the video that it's the tool of the will. You use it when you want to will things into existence. I'm going to give you another application of this tool. Since this tool is of the element of the air, the element of the air rules the mind. So you can actually use it for telepathy. So what am I saying when I'm saying telepathy? You can use it to impregnate the minds of people with ideas, basically. Because that's what magic is in actuality. Impregnating the universe with your thoughts to create a change in the behavior of the universe. So some of you would like to say that using love magic is infringing upon someone else's free will. But to me, we are doing it all the time. When you want ice cream, there has to be somebody creating that ice cream for you. Now this person is neglecting their life purpose to create ice cream for you. You understand? This person could be doing something spiritual, but because this money system is based on capitalizing and trying to find money, this person finds themselves creating ice creams for a living. And you craving the ice cream is creating a demand, further enforcing that behavior of someone doing the ice cream. So now what if this person was supposed to do what? To be focusing on their spiritual life in this lifetime. But now because your ice cream cravings are too much, this person has to meet with your demand. That's another example of looking at it. So in terms of love magic, I don't see it as worse than any of the other ways of living that we are currently under. The act of selling something to someone, it's a form of magic. Psychology is magic. In every aspect of our lives, when we want to gain something from someone, we are infringing upon that person's free will to get whatever that we want. So now the secret is to doing this. A limit as to where you can go with these practices, because you don't want to send out such energy. It will come back to you and mess you up, and you'll end up forgetting the real purpose of this magic. So with that being said, one's athames, they are powerful tools of directing and manipulating energy. Even when I'm holding it like this, I can feel the energy coming out from this. It's a pity you can't feel it, but try to focus on this one as I'm pointing it to the screen like this. Notice there's a shaking on my hand. There's a vibration on my hand as I'm holding this. I can't hold it steady. It's this energy. Very, very powerful tools. Now with that being said, if you want to know more about these things and how to use them in rituals for influencing the environment and the people in your environment, please do email me at arsonist.fya@gmail.com. arsonist.fya@gmail.com. Don't let these people tell you that you can't use magic to influence people, because they are doing it all the time. I'm gonna tell you another secret. The swamis that we see, the ones that we look up to, they have this power of magnetism, and they have this power of fascination. This is due to this energy, and this is also due to another form of mantra practice that I will not talk about here. But with that being said, I'd like for you to understand that they are trying to keep you from your power by telling you that you can't use this to influence people. What about the government? There's people who are dying from hunger, where they have all the resources to change that. There's people who are dying from hunger, while they capture the land to themselves. Is it not infringing upon someone's free will? What is karma doing to them for restricting that land out to the public? What is karma doing to the people in power who are only responsible for the resources of the people and not their lives? Because if you want responsibility and rulership over the gifts, the minerals of the land, the riches of the world, you also have a responsibility of nourishing the entire world. Because these gifts, these minerals, you are restricting the entire population from using them, because you gave yourself a responsibility to rule over them. With that being said, I'd like to conclude this video before I make you to ponder and think too much about this. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you do that now, and make sure that you like, comment if you have any questions. If you want more information on these spiritual practices, do email me at arsonist.fya@gmail.com. Share this with whoever you think might benefit from this. Om Namah Shivaya.